Well, my name is Craig Rector. I'm a real estate agent here in Las Vegas, and I've partnered up with Home Partners in order to bring a rent to own type program here to the city of Las Vegas. Stick with me real quick. I'm going to go over what it takes to be in the program, the qualifications, and how the program works. And like I said, it was a program kind of like rent to own. However, it's more appropriately called rent with the right to buy. That's almost exactly how the program works. You rent. And during your rental period of 5 years, you're given the right to buy the home. On the qualifications to be in the program, credit score for those whose income is used to qualify for the program must be 580 or above. The total household income used to qualify for the program must be $40,000 or more per year. Of course, there needs to be a good rental history with no evictions in the past 5 years, no unpaid rent collections in the past 3 years. Certain felony convictions are also frowned on, and that's different by state. And I do not know the details for Nevada. There's a way to contact people from Home Partners if there's a question there. Review the rent with the option to buy program. That's one of the first steps. Review the other email that I've also sent. See if it looks like this program's a good fit for you. Make sure I didn't miss any details here in my presentation. And then you apply. You apply in that other email also. If it's a good fit, you go ahead and apply. There is a $75 application fee, and it's for the entire household. Even if there's 4 adults, they just charge one application fee. It's not like some of those rental deals out there where they charge a fee for every adult. And then, of course, you might need to go and look at 8 different houses and pay 8 different application fees, for every adult in the house. You can get $1,000 into application fees if you're not careful out there today. Now, they do require proof of income. They're going to use bank statements or pay stubs, whatever pertains to your situation. There's like 5 or 6 different ways that they take proof of income, and that's all going to depend upon what your situation is. Now, they qualify you for a home, and the way that they qualify again is it's just based on the income that you prove in that proof of income when you're applying for the home. Now, ensure everybody that you're going to use to qualify for the home, make sure everybody is included on that initial application. If you just include the pay from one person, but then you don't qualify for as much, and you want to add people to qualify for something a little bit better, they only take income on the initial application. If you need to add to it later, I think there's a 6-month cool down period before they're going to review a second application with increased income. Everything needs to be all the income needs to be on the initial application. Now, after you get approved, we go looking at homes, and those homes are going to be available. They're going to be based on, again, what you got it qualified for in that application process. And the homes that we look at are out there for sale on the open market. These are houses anybody could buy. So when you select one of these homes, Home Partners is going to become the buyer, and they're going to buy the home for you, and then you're going to rent the home. You'll be set up to rent the home from Home Partners. Now, others, they may also be trying to buy the exact same home. And Home Partners, they make good cash offers at full market value, but sometimes somebody does come in a little bit higher, or maybe they got there a little bit faster. So Home Partners, their offers are good, but they might not get every house that they try to buy. So in that case, they would try to purchase a second house if the client wanted to also go for a second house, or even a third home if it went that far. But again, Home Partners does make good, very fair, full price cash offers. And these type of offers are pretty appealing to most sellers. So Home Partners does a good job of buying home. Say they are beat on a home purchase, again, they'll try, and they'll keep buying homes as long as the client wants to stick with the process. And again, their offers are good, so they're not trying to go skimpy and short sellers on money. They're serious about buying a home. So now renting a home, the client gets a 5-year exclusive right to buy the home. Now, what that kind of means is the home can't be bought by anybody else, right? The home is not going to be sold out from under you while you're renting it. No multiple offers are going to come in that drive the price up, because your price is already set. You only have to make an offer. All you have to do is say you're ready to buy the home at that price, and then the home will be, pretty much the home will be yours as soon as you pay for it. The price of this home is set in the contract. You know exactly what it's going to cost, and what to budget for, and what the lender needs to pay. No surprises. Of course, also, here's something that's fair. Buying the home is also totally optional. You have the right to buy the home. You don't have to buy the home. There's no penalty if you do not buy the home. You just follow the terms of that rental lease agreement. And if you move out, you leave the home in decent shape, and it's just like a normal rental. In that case, you would get your security deposit back, everything. There's no penalties for not buying the home. It's a pretty fair program. Pricing of the home. Does Home Partners give you a fair price when they go to sell you the home? This is how they figure up the price. It's a simple formula. They track all the fees and charges that they pay to get the home, the title fees, the actual cost of the home, any repairs that need to be done, any safety, because if they're going to rent the home to you, we have to have smoke detectors. So everything that they spend on the home is totaled up, and then they add 5.5% to that. On day one, if they bought the home and you bought the home the next day, you'd be paying 5.5% more than what Home Partners paid for the home. That's fair because they've done a lot of work and they need to make a profit too. That price is good for the first year. Every year around the anniversary of you living in the home, they're going to knock another 5.5% up on that home to account for home value, home prices increasing. And that's actually a pretty fair number here in Las Vegas. Over the past 2 years, home prices have gone up almost 20%. Here with Home Partners, they're locking in at 5.5. So over the past 2 years, if you bought the home, you would end up actually 10% better off. You'd have 10% equity in the house. So their numbers are fair numbers, is what I'm kind of getting at. Their numbers are fair numbers. Now, say you're out there on the open market. You're not going through Home Partners. You're buying a home out there on the open market. House prices, if they go up 20% in 2 years, you didn't build this into a budget. You didn't know about it. It kind of came as a surprise. And all of a sudden, houses cost 20% more than they used to. That's kind of a rough pill to swallow when you're buying a home. But here again with Home Partners, it's built in. The pricing over the next 5 years. The prices for each year are built into the contract. You know exactly what they're going to be, and each year they've added 5.5% to the price. Now, when I tell people this, people sometimes worry about prices going down. What if the prices go down? What if there's a housing market crash? House prices start going down. Well, first, none of the experts say anything about going down in price. But experts are wrong sometimes. So say house prices do go down. Well, that's still a win-win. Like I said, you have the right to buy the home. You don't have to buy the home. If all the houses around you are going down in price, you can elect not to buy the home. There's no penalty. And then you could buy the house across the street or the house down around the corner that's gone down in price and save some money, because you're not locked into buying this particular home. But if you do, you have the right to buy the home with nobody else buying it out from under you, nobody bidding up the price. The deal's pretty much already in a contract, which makes it almost as easy to buy this home as maybe like buy now with one click on Amazon. You're going to stay in the house just as a renter. As you're a renter, the rent does also go up in price, and it's programmed to go up at 3.5% per year. And again, this is all known in advance. It's spelled out in the contract in advance. You'd have the next 5 years rent and what they're going to be. And each year the rent goes up 3.5%. In the second year, you might be paying about $50 to $75 a month more than you were the first year. Then it kind of depends on the price of the home. It's 3.5% is their formula. Lease terms, you don't have to live in the house for that 5 years. You have the right to buy. The lease terms are in 1 year increments. So it would be renewed just like a normal lease agreement, like a 1 year term. You can always choose to move out at the end of any of the terms. And if you leave the house in good shape, you get your security deposit back. There's no penalty if you decide not to buy. Pet policy. It's a pet friendly arrangement. There's an extra fee for pets, and the limit is 3 dogs up to a total of 180 pounds total. However, if the home is in an HOA with more strict pet restrictions, some HOAs might say 1 dog maximum 20 pounds. Well, in that case, the HOA rules override anything put out by home partners. You got to follow the local community's rules. Now, when it comes time to buying the home, you want to buy the home. It doesn't matter at what point during this agreement. You have a 5-year right to buy the home. You can buy the home on day one. You can buy the home in the first year. You can buy it in the 5th year. Just give home partners a 60-day notice. And on that arranged day, it's arranged between you, the lender, and home partners. On that arranged day, your mortgage lender will transfer the money over to home partners. And from that time on, you're making mortgage payments, setting your own rules. You're out of the rental deal. You just own the home. You didn't even have to move if you were buying this home because you were already living in it. You know what you're getting because you've probably been living there for a year or two. So you know all about the home that you're buying. Should be no surprises. People ask, does any part of the rent payment also go for the home? And the answer is no. And there's some good reasons for that. Keeping everything separate between the purchase of the home and the rental agreement is actually good for the tenant/buyer. Imagine you're renting the home, something comes up and you need to move. Well, if you've been putting away money into this house, every year for several years, you might have a substantial amount of money now in the house. If you had to move out, you would lose all the money in the house. It would be hard to get this money back. And if you moved out, this would actually be a penalty for moving out because you would lose money that had been set aside for the house. Whereas keeping everything separate, they also didn't have to charge more money on the rent, so they had extra money to put into the house. So it keeps the rent prices down as normal rent prices, and it just keeps everything separate between the house and the purchase. That way, you can move out of the house without any penalties. Nothing's locked up in the home. On the other side, for home partners, they're in 78 cities across the nation. They've got thousands and thousands of homes that are being rented. And a few of those renters have moved in, something has happened, and they're unable to pay rent. In that case, home partners is probably going to do a normal eviction. But if there was money set aside for the home, it becomes a legal mess because now instead of just doing a normal eviction, home partners would have to go through the full foreclosure process, being kind of a legal nightmare because a foreclosure is 4 times more expensive than an eviction. Foreclosure takes 4 times longer. There's 4 times as many lawyers involved. Everything just goes up by a factor of 4. And if the people in the home were not paying rent, that's probably 4 times the amount of time that they're in the house not paying rent. It could go on for several years. Of course, it's best for home partners to also ensure that there is nothing construed as going for the home. It's a total separate agreement. The rental portion and then the purchase portion are totally separate, and the two don't mingle together. And that's good for you. There's no penalties if you want to move out early. It's also better for home partners because they get to greatly reduce their legal liability. It's good to keep everything separate. That way it's actually a win-win for both the buyer and for home partners. Check the home partners info out. If it looks like it's a good fit, the way to get started is just to fill out that application that's included in that other email that I've sent you, and turn in the proof of income, the documents that they're requesting, and pay the application fee. And then soon we'd be out there actually looking at homes and getting the whole process started. And thank you much for sticking with me. Sorry this was not any more exciting. Anyway, thank you much. And my contact information's here. Again, I'm a broker salesperson here in Las Vegas. That's my phone number. That's actually my cell phone number, 702-845-8190. You can call me, you can text me. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the day.